All right, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe. And somebody should have stayed with him. Maybe a big fat Rottweiler or something. Somebody in the crib, because he lost $1 million in jewelry and had some bags stolen from his home. So now Shannon Sharpe is offering a generous award for that. The reward is $50,000 for information about the $1 million burglary that took place at his LA mansion last Friday, according to TMZ. Man, big house. It's funny, like when someone says mansion, it's okay, but I hope that we don't say mansion. Like somebody like that, you want to come to my mansion? Like it sounds different, right? Reads different than it sounds. So the 54-year-old, man, he making 54 look great, dog. I ain't got no excuses. I'm over here 48, talking about my knees, and this dude just got a new hip at 54 looking amazing. So we know who Shannon Sharpe is, co-host of Undisputed. He reportedly called police on the evening of May 19th after he returned home and noticed he was missing expensive watches, jewelry, and some designer bags. Watches, jewelry, and some designer bags for you guys out there saying, how you got up to $1 million? It adds up fast. Why? One, it's not just retail value, it's appraisal value. One thing people got to know about jewelry is it gets appraised at high values. Like some of the stuff I've had before over the past 2, 3, 4, 5x in terms of the appraisal value. So if you bought something for 10K, appraised at 50K. You're like, what? And I'll tell you why that matters a little bit later. So the police said the alleged stolen items are worth around $1 million, all right? And the investigation is ongoing. Happened between 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. according to police, after Sharpe had left this place for a few hours to attend dinner with his friends. All right, I don't know if this was a weekday or not, but you know Shannon got curfew because that show come on early. I remember that. You used to talk. I'm like, Shannon, I'll never see you out. You're like, you never will, because I'm over there. I got to get up early. Skip Bayless gets up earlier than anybody I know just to get that run on and his workout on and the Mountain Dew's going and the show going. So, yeah, they got early wake-up times. All right, so far, there have been no arrests made and no obvious signs of forced entry. All right, it's time to get our Matlock hats and put them back on. Okay, my takeaways from this. One, when there's no sign of no forced entry, you immediately think inside job, right? Damn it, somebody you trust, somebody you know, somebody you like, somebody you love had to help in this situation somehow. Why? They didn't break in. So either A, they got the key, they got the code, they got the alarm code, access points, they know where you bury the treasure as well. So with no signs of forced entry, that 2.5 hour window is long enough to do a lot of damage, a lot of dirt, but no signs of forced entry, and they knew where to go, and they got exactly what they wanted, and they didn't take just anything in that house. They took from the top 3 items and dipset, right? All right, so that all leads some FBI wannabe detective like myself to thinking that this is an inside job. The only other thought I would have, and I'm not putting this on Shannon, I'm just putting this out there so you can beat up the thoughts so that you can know which one makes more sense, is there used to be this thing going around that rappers used to do, especially, at least they got the headlines for it. But because of the high appraisal values, remember I told you that, right? That people were losing things on purpose. And a lot of them, I think even someone got caught at the airport before. Since I don't know for a fact, I'm not going to say their name, but I do know it happened. Losing stuff, right? So this is how it goes. You got this high insurance policy, right? And you got your umbrella policy, and you got your jewelry policy, and your jewelry policy insures you for up to $1 million. And now you got all this jewelry in your house. And 2 things may be happening, if not more. One is, I don't really need all this young stunner energy and jewelry anymore. I ain't going to the clubs like that. I don't want this. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it away. Oh no, you're not gonna give it away because nobody gonna buy it for that value. oh, I can't sell it for the value that it is, some of this stuff. Because some of this stuff is just, let's be real. We ain't buying the stuff that appraises and resales at that value, just the stuff that appraises high. All that trunk jewelry, rapper jewelry stuff that we were buying, all them pendants and charms I was buying that said that dude this wide. Ain't nobody trying to buy that back. So what happens is, you lose it. It just comes up missing, right? And then if you can't find it, if you got the right insurance, and most people with money got the right insurance, guess what you do? You claim it. And all of a sudden, guess what you get? $1 million check. Jury gone or jury somewhere else and $1 million check. It's a racket that people run. Not putting any of this on Shannon Sharpe. I'm just here to let you learn and unlearn. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna tell you guys some of the things that I've seen happening around celebs and people of high net worth, because everybody now has got the memo. But the memo to me was sent in the 80s when you watched the end of Scarface, and that sucker got robbed and killed at his crib with a fort with 900 guards. They scaling the walls. They got machine guns in your bathroom. And in that moment, I was like, ain't nobody 100% safe in this world. Seriously. Like, as a kid, from that moment, I have never believed in 100% security and peace. Kind of disturbing, but it sent me that message loud and clear. So now I know guys who have security guards, private details as well. I used to hire some when I used to go to Miami, Memorial Day. I don't know why, it was stupid. It almost brought more attention than it was supposed to protect me from, because now I'm walking around with these two twin tower dudes and I'm already big and I'm shining, and all I'm saying is don't rob me. Why? Because they are there wearing don't rob me shirts and muscles. And I'm sitting there like, damn, I'm stunting though. Like, I'm letting the girls know she talking to me. I'm looking. And then, somebody disrespect me. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. And they out the section, like stuff. So it was like this ego play more than it almost was for the protection. But there are some people that just need the protection. I'm not trying to put that on everybody. And I was just sitting there like, man, stop bringing these dudes around for attention. Kind of feels like when we land in road cities and on the road, and then they would give us the police escorts with the buses. And I was like, if we didn't have these policemen with sirens doing all this extra attention, I think people would just be like, those are just regular buses. Ain't no players on there, but I get the security issues. So now I know cats with dough. In my neighborhood, we got the police, you got your alarm company, and there are hired private patrolmen and details that camp out in front of their house, right? They camp out every single day. I told you the time that I walked down the street and I was with my two kids, all three of my kids, all three. Two in a stroller and one MJ walking with me. And I stopped to get him some snacks and some fruit in front of this house. And then this house was like some YouTube influencer, big time, right? And I don't know who it was. And I stopped. And as I stopped to get his snacks and stuff, I felt somebody coming. But he was coming for me, not coming just to be walking in the neighborhood. And I look up and he's like, oh, what's up, Marcellus? How you doing? And I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, oh, man, I'm just making sure everything is safe and cool out here. And I was like, damn, that's how it is? He's like, that's how it is. And he showed me. He hides in the trunk of this car overnight, smoked out windows. He just hides in there. And he's just watching the house the whole night. I was like, what? And this sucker was coming out that morning. Things weren't right by me. Things could have been wrong for me. So I know it's happening a lot. There is no rhyme or reason to this. It's just happening, other than you think he got the dough, or he got the dough, he got the jewels, he got the watches, etc. Because a lot of robberies happen in bad neighborhoods as well, where you expect them not to have as much. But now we're seeing it go outside those borders. So the craziest thing about this is that, man, Shannon had a lot of stuff in there, and they knew exactly what to get, and they got it. But thankfully, no matter what, Shannon Sharpe is safe. He wasn't home at the time, so he hasn't had to deal with that level of the trauma, even though his peace certainly was disturbed. Thoughts for you, big dog, because even though nothing happened to you emotionally, that's still something hard to deal with.